Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever laid in bed after seeing your boyfriend and thought, does he actually care about me, or is he just here for my body? It's a tough question, isn't it? Because on one hand, we all want to feel desired. We want a man who finds us attractive, who craves us, who looks at us like we're the only woman in the room. That part is beautiful. It's exciting. But here's the thing. Attraction alone doesn't build love. Lust doesn't equal commitment. And sometimes as women, we confuse the intensity of desire with the depth of love. I've coached countless women who come to me heartbroken, saying, but Matthew, he was so passionate. He wanted me all the time. I thought that meant he loved me. And my answer is always the same. Just because a man can't keep his hands off you doesn't mean he's holding on to your heart. And here's the dangerous part. We often ignore the red flags. We tell ourselves he's just not a talker, or he's busy with work, or maybe he'll change. But let me be brutally honest with you. A man who only wants you for your body is not going to magically transform into the man who cherishes your soul if his actions are already showing you where his priorities lie. Believe him the first time. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 6 signs your boyfriend only wants your body. By the end, you'll be able to spot the difference between a man who loves you and a man who just loves the benefits of being around you. And once you see these signs clearly, you'll never waste your time again. He only contacts you late at night or when he wants to hang out. Think about this for a second out. When does your boyfriend usually reach out to you? Is it during the day when he's out and about, when he's having lunch, or when something funny happens at work and he just has to tell you? Or does his name only pop up on your phone when the sun goes down, when it's late at night, and when he suddenly feels like hanging out? Because that difference is everything. When a man truly cares about you, he doesn't compartmentalize you into the nighttime category. You're not just his midnight plan. You're someone he wants woven into his everyday life. He thinks about you in the morning when he's sipping coffee, in the afternoon when he's stressed at work, and yes, even when it's late at night. But if your boyfriend only contacts you when it's convenient for him, usually when it's late, when the vibe is all about intimacy and nothing else, you have to stop and ask yourself, is this relationship built on genuine connection, or is it just built on convenience? Now, I'm not saying that every late night text is a red flag. Sometimes it's sweet. He misses you. He wants to hear your voice. He's excited to end his day with you. That's different. But if 90% of his communication happens at night, if he never plans anything with you outside of come over or let's chill, then what he's telling you is loud and clear. He's not prioritizing you. He's prioritizing what he gets from you. Here's what happens when we ignore this sign. We start making excuses. We tell ourselves, oh, he works a lot. That's why he doesn't call during the day. Or he's just more of a night owl. But watch his actions closely. Does he make time for his friends during the day? Does he post on social media, go out, live his life, but somehow you only get his attention after dark? If that's the pattern, then it's not about his schedule, it's about his priorities. The truth is, intimacy should be a part of your relationship, not the foundation of it. If the only reason he's contacting you is because he's in the mood, then you're not his girlfriend, you're his convenience. And the danger here is that the more you allow this, the more he conditions himself to see you as someone who's always available on his terms. He doesn't have to put in effort. He doesn't have to court you, plan with you, or connect with you emotionally, because you've already given him access without him proving consistency. Ladies, here's the bottom line. A man who genuinely wants you will make space for you in his whole life, not just the parts that serve him. If he's only showing up when it's easy, when it's physical, or when he's bored late at night, that's not love, that's lust. And you deserve so much more than being someone's after hours option. He avoids emotional conversations. Now let's talk about something even deeper, emotional connection. One of the biggest giveaways that your boyfriend only wants your body is when he consistently avoids emotional conversations. You know what I'm talking about? The moment you try to open up about your dreams, your fears, your insecurities, or even just how your day really went, he either shuts down, changes the subject, or gives you one-word answers. And maybe you felt that sting. You're sharing something vulnerable, and instead of leaning in, instead of showing curiosity, he pulls away as if you've just crossed some invisible line. When a man truly values you, he wants to know you. Not just your body, not just what you look like when the lights are off, but what goes on inside your mind and heart. He wants to understand your passions, the things that make you laugh, the things that keep you up at night. He listens, he asks questions, he remembers details because he's genuinely invested in your world. But when a man is only there for your body, emotional conversations feel like work to him. He doesn't want to go there because going there requires effort, patience, and vulnerability on his part. Here's the problem as women. We often make excuses for this. We'll say, oh, he's just not good with feelings, or he's not used to talking about emotions. But ask yourself, does he avoid emotional depth with his friends too? Does he never open up about his own life, even to his closest people? Or is it just with you? Because if a man is capable of being vulnerable elsewhere, but consistently dodges it with you, it's not about his personality, it's about his level of investment. And here's what happens over time. You start to feel like you can't fully be yourself. You hesitate to bring things up because you know he'll brush them off. You end up shrinking emotionally just to keep the peace, because every time you try to connect, he pulls away. That doesn't just hurt, it starves the relationship of intimacy. And I don't mean physical intimacy, I mean real intimacy, the kind that makes you feel safe, seen, and understood. Let me be brutally honest. If you can't talk to your partner about your heart, your struggles, or your dreams, then what you have isn't a relationship, it's a situationship dressed up as one. And no amount of passion or physical chemistry can make up for the emptiness that comes when your soul isn't being nurtured. So if you notice that every emotional conversation ends with him changing the subject, making a joke, or withdrawing altogether, pay attention. That's not just how he is, that's a sign he's not interested in going deeper with you and the man who truly loves you. He'll never make you feel like your emotions are too heavy or inconvenient. He'll welcome them because loving you means loving all of you, not just the parts that are easy for him. He doesn't introduce you to his friends or family. Let's get into another really telling sign if your boyfriend doesn't introduce you to his friends or family. Now, think about this for a moment. When someone is genuinely proud to have you in their life, when they're excited about you and see you as part of their future, they want to show you off. They want the people they care about to meet the person who makes them happy. They want to weave you into their world. That's what happens in real relationships. Your lives start to overlap, your circles start to mix. But if you've been with him for weeks, months, maybe even longer, and somehow you've never met his friends, never been invited to a family gathering, never even been brought up in casual conversation about his world, that's not an accident. That's a choice. A man who only wants your body will keep you separate from his real life because in his mind, you're temporary. You're not part of his bigger picture, so why bring you into it? Now, I know what you might be thinking, but Matthew, maybe he's just private. Maybe he's not close with his family. Sure, those are possibilities. But let's be real. If he's close enough to his family to go to holidays with them, close enough to his friends to hang out on weekends, somehow you're never included. That's a red flag. Privacy is one thing, but secrecy is another. And here's where it really hurts. When you're hidden from his world, it sends you a subtle but painful message. You're good enough for behind closed doors, but not good enough to be part of my real life. That eats away at your self-worth over time. You start wondering, why doesn't he want me around his people? Am I not special enough? Am I just temporary to him? And deep down, you already know the answer because actions always speak louder than words. Think about it like this. If you're only ever with him one-on-one, if you never see how he behaves with you in a group, if he never includes you in his plans outside of the bedroom, that's not a relationship, that's an arrangement. And an arrangement can feel exciting at first, but it doesn't give you the security, the stability, or the love you actually need. Ladies, please hear this. A man who sees a future with you will be proud to introduce you to the people who matter to him. He'll want his best friends to know you. He'll want his family to see who you are because he's not just thinking about today, he's thinking about building a life with you. But a man who avoids this step, he's showing you his intentions without ever saying a word. So if you've been together for a while and he's still keeping you in a bubble, it's time to stop ignoring the obvious. You're not being protected, you're being hidden. And that's not love. That's a man enjoying your body without investing in your future. He only compliments your looks. Let's dive into another really important sign, Z. He only compliments your looks. Now, don't get me wrong. Every woman deserves to be told she's beautiful, sexy, stunning, irresistible. Those words can make you feel desired. appreciated, and confident. But here's the problem: if that's all your boyfriend ever says about you, then we've got a serious issue. Because a man who only praises your body or your appearance is showing you exactly what he values most about you. And it's not your mind, your heart, or your soul. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that every compliment he gives is about how you look in that dress, how hot you are when you're dressed up, or how attractive you are physically? Of course, those things feel good in the moment. But what happens when you're not all dressed up? What happens when you're in sweatpants, hair in a messy bun, or just being your natural self? Does he still admire you, or does his affection seem to fade when you're not presenting a certain way? A man who genuinely loves you will notice far more than your looks. He'll tell you he admires your drive, your kindness, your sense of humor, your intelligence, the way you light up a room, the way you care for others. He'll compliment how you make him feel, how you inspire him, how your presence changes his day. That's the kind of love that runs deep. But a man who only wants your body doesn't look past the surface, because the surface is all he's interested in. Here's where it gets tricky. As women, we can sometimes confuse constant physical compliments with genuine love. We think, well, at least he finds me attractive, or isn't it a good thing that he's obsessed with my body? And yes, attraction matters, but attraction without emotional depth is empty. What feels flattering at first can start to feel hollow over time, because deep down, you crave to be seen for all of you, not just how you look. And let's be honest, looks change. Beauty fades, bodies change, life evolves. If your relationship is built solely on physical attraction, what happens when you're no longer able or willing to constantly be that perfect version of yourself? A man who only values your appearance won't have anything else holding him in the relationship. But a man who loves your character, your personality, your spirit, that love lasts because it's rooted in who you are, not just how you look. So here's the truth: if your boyfriend never acknowledges your inner qualities, if he's silent when it comes to your achievements, your passions, your quirks, but loud about your body, that's not love. That's objectification. And you deserve so much more than being admired like a picture on a wall. You deserve to be loved in 360 degrees for your beauty, yes, but also for your mind, your heart, and your soul. He doesn't invest effort outside of the bedroom. Now let's talk about one of the clearest signs of all. He doesn't invest effort outside of the bedroom. This one is huge, because relationships are not built in moments of passion alone. They're built in the small, everyday ways someone shows up for you. And the truth is, if your boyfriend only seems attentive, affectionate, or available when intimacy is on the table, then you're not experiencing love, you're experiencing convenience. Think about it. When you're sick, does he take the time to check in on you, bring you soup, call to see how you're feeling, or does he suddenly go quiet until you're better and back to being fun again? When you're stressed about work, family, or life, does he sit with you, listen, and support you? Or does he brush it off because it's not exciting for him? When you need a favor, when you're having a bad day, or when you simply want quality time together, does he step up, or does he disappear until the next time he wants something physical? A man who only wants your body doesn't put effort into the areas of your life that require him to give more of himself. Why? Because effort requires emotional investment. It requires sacrifice, patience, and care. And if his priority is only getting what he wants physically, then the rest of your needs will always take a back seat. Here's the danger: when we care about someone, we sometimes overlook this. We convince ourselves, well, he's not great with showing up, but he's passionate with me, or he's just busy. At least we have fun together. But fun and passion are not enough to sustain a relationship. What truly matters is whether he chooses to stand beside you when things aren't fun, when they're messy, inconvenient, or difficult. That's when love proves itself. A man who truly loves you will invest effort consistently, not just when it benefits him. He'll make time for dates. He'll check in on you during the day. He'll remember the small details that matter to you. He'll step outside of his comfort zone because he wants you to feel valued. That doesn't mean he'll be perfect. It just means he'll try. And that effort is what separates someone who's with you for love from someone who's with you for lust. Ladies, I want you to pay attention to this. Love is not measured by how much time someone spends in your bed, but by how much they're willing to invest when the bedroom isn't even part of the picture. If his care for you stops the moment intimacy ends, then you're not his partner, you're his pastime, and you deserve better than being someone's distraction. You deserve a man who shows up for you, who supports you, who invests in you, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Your gut already knows. This last one might just be the most important of all. Your gut already knows. Ladies, I can't tell you how many times I've sat across from someone who told me, Matthew, I just don't know if he really loves me or if he just wants me physically. And almost every single time when I ask them what their gut is telling them, they pause and then admit deep down, I think I already know the answer. Here's the truth. Our intuition is powerful. That little feeling in your chest, that quiet voice in the back of your mind, it's not there to torture you. It's there to protect you. When you're with a man who truly loves you, your soul feels settled. You feel safe, valued, appreciated. You don't have to constantly second guess where you stand with him. You don't have to lie awake at night replaying his actions, trying to decode his intentions. Real love feels consistent. It feels secure. But when a man only wants your body, something always feels off. You might feel amazing in the moment when you're with him, but afterward, there's this emptiness. You start questioning whether you mean more to him than just the physical connection. You sense the distance when you try to talk about real things. You feel the imbalance when he doesn't show up for you outside of intimacy. And even if you try to ignore it, your body, your heart, your intuition is quietly telling you, this isn't love. The problem is we don't always listen. We silence that voice with excuses. Maybe he's just stressed. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe he'll change. We hang on to potential instead of paying attention to patterns. But ladies, I want you to hear me on this. Patterns don't lie. If you feel consistently undervalued, if you feel like you're giving more than you're receiving, if you feel like he only shows up for one thing, that's your intuition speaking. And it's almost always right. You don't need me, your best friend, or anyone else to tell you whether he loves you for real or just wants your body. You already know. The question is, will you trust yourself enough to act on it? Because that's the difference between staying stuck in a cycle of doubt and stepping into the kind of relationship you actually deserve. A man who's truly invested in you won't leave you confused. He won't make you feel disposable. He'll make sure you feel chosen. And if that's not what you're experiencing, then it's time to stop waiting for him to become the man you need and start listening to the voice inside you that's been guiding you all along. Your gut doesn't lie. And when you trust it, you save yourself from heartbreak, wasted time, and settling for less than you deserve. So ladies, here's the bottom line. When a man only wants your body, the signs aren't hidden. They're right there in front of you. He contacts you only when it's convenient. He avoids emotional conversations. He keeps you away from his world. He only compliments your looks. He refuses to put in effort outside of intimacy, and deep down, your gut is already whispering the truth. And I know how hard it can be to face that truth, because part of you hopes he'll change, hopes that maybe with time, he'll wake up and see your worth. But the reality is this: you shouldn't have to teach someone to value you. The right man won't need convincing. He'll show up for you consistently. He'll cherish all of you, and he'll want to build something real. So don't ignore the red flags. Don't silence your intuition. And please don't settle for someone who only wants a piece of you when you deserve a man who wants all of you. Your body, yes, but also your mind, your heart, and your soul, because that's what true love looks like. Now, if this video hit home for you, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these signs stood out the most in your own situation. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button there, because it really supports the channel and helps more women get the advice they need. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because I've got so many more videos coming your way, videos that will help you stop wasting time on the wrong men and start creating the love story you actually deserve. Remember, you are worth more than being someone's convenience. You deserve to be someone's choice.